To the Father God, thank you for everything that you do for us. We're going to do a podcast on topics that are going on in the world that everybody that's struggling with. I pray, God, that you give us the best guidance and the best words to say on these topics. Thank you, God, for everything you do for us, and continue to bless us in life and career and business. And thank you, God, for everything that you do. Thank you, God, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Welcome to another edition of the Tech Woke Podcast. I am your host, Chris. I'm an RMS specialist inside the government space. And in this podcast, we're just going to introduce Markeisha. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you feeling?
Great.
Still feeling great. You know, we had some. You're looking good. Like you're looking
Thank you. Trying
y'all. You got the shoulder pads.
Listen, if it was up to me, I would have came in a hoodie and some sweats.
You looking like you pimping out here. You pimping out here.
I am, you know, gotta make that Monday.
I see. Man,
but how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Markeisha. It's a lot going on.
I know you have a lot on your mind.
Yeah, it's a lot on my mind. I work. It's
a lot to unpack.
I work in the government, right? I know you work in the government.
I have, yep.
It's a lot going on.
It is a lot going on. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm gonna talk about it. Like, cause how I feel, Markeisha, working in the government, I'm like, should I leave? Is it worth it? And I really question these things, cause we got the presidency, you got contracts ending, you got all this stuff going on. It's like, I don't know. I know you already left, so you good.
I've been left, and I've been telling clients for about 6 years now that they can't treat the government as just a place where they can go and get comfortable, because we all know that you should never get comfortable. And so a lot of people have thought of that space as, oh, I can retire there, comes with a pension, things of that sort. But now we're seeing where it has been disrupted, and it's been disrupted for a reason. And so I've been telling my clients, I think that the private sector has a lot more opportunity, and just the way they move is a lot better, in my opinion. Now, in terms of what you should do, if you feel that your position is in jeopardy, intuition's a thing. And so if you feel that you could potentially be let go, then you should definitely start looking elsewhere. Yeah,
I think I might start testing the water, because even though I'm with an NSS program, or what is it called? National System. Basically, it's a program that's needed. It's a program that's needed. And I'm like, but again, it's like, okay.
Does Elon know it's needed?
Yeah, I'm scared Elon and Doge is about to come in there looking for me.
Right. Do they know that it's needed?
If I'm at the water fountain too long, you know what I'm saying? If I'm at my car, they're going to write that down. Like, Chris,
Exactly. Like, you done.
It's a crazy situation. Elon, but I will say I do like Elon a little bit.
Okay, why you like Elon?
So I've always been he's a crazy dude, you know what I'm saying? So he obviously.
Right.
But, with Elon, the Doge I do agree with somewhat. It's crazy, because like in the government space, including myself, sometimes you can get, I do my work. Just to let you know, anybody watching, employers or anything, I do my work.
Contractors are always doing the work.
I'm doing my work. Yeah.
always doing the work.
But again, it's like, I'm just, with the Doge situation, it's just like I said, they are infiltrating cybersecurity now. So it's like, that's one of the issues with Doge. And then I don't understand, the one thing I disagree about him, I don't think he should be the one. This ain't the private sector.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And his experience comes from the private sector. And for him, he has a mission that he's on, but it doesn't mean that he's approaching the entire situation correctly. I think that somebody else who's been in that space for a longer time should be heading this. I think nothing's wrong with him heading the private sector and kind of what he wants to do with that. But bringing somebody in who doesn't necessarily have that experience, I think it has been detrimental. And I mean, we can see how the economy is shaping up. People are losing their jobs, they're losing their homes, they're moving to different parts of the world just because of this. It's really just a lot happening right now.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I will say, even like little things have heard, like a box of condoms, like 20,000 condoms was in some place. And
Oh yeah, just things that
I don't know if that's true.
that we didn't know where any of our taxes had been going. And I think this is something we were trying to get an idea of. And now we finally have somebody that has come in and has exposed the things that these government officials have been doing, right? And I'm all for that. It just sucks that people are now collateral damage, right? But that's the reality at the end of the day. And I am on board with cleaning things up. But as I mentioned, there is a right and a wrong way to go about that.
Yeah, and there's benefits of being in the government. I will say, you get that clearance, you get that money.
Yep.
You do have somewhat job security, not as much lately from what I'm hearing from a lot of people. And you can work from home somewhat high. As a contractor, you can still work from home.
Were.
Yeah.
They were. I think a lot of contractors they're starting to bring the contractors in. I know the government employees, they're no longer working from home. There's no more telework.
It's no more. And they mad,
I have family in the government and it sucks.
Yeah, so it's like, but it's a lot of bad things too. As contractors, we always working and we got to work everything. So it's like,
overworking.
Yeah, overwork. There'd be times I'd be at home and I still be dreaming of. Have you ever had a dream about work?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Seriously,
That's
I thought
when
I was the only
you know
person.
enough is enough. That's when you know you're getting to like the end.
It says the end game. Is the end game, Markeisha?
I used to dream about it, have nightmares actually, and that's where I knew it was my time to go.
Yeah, and I we'll see. I'm not going to say that. I love the government space. I do still think of it as a privilege, but it's like I need some. So give me some. So for me, I'm like, give me some tips. Like what in the private sector? What's the benefits of working in that space?
Sure.
I never did it in cybersecurity.
So I think it's different for everybody. I'll speak from my perspective and what exactly I like. I do like how the space is more futuristic, more hip. They're more prone to be on board with making change and making change fast. They understand that time is money at the end of the day. So if you're a person who's creative, if you're a person who's innovative, if you're somebody who likes to hit the ground running, that happens within the private sector. If you're somebody who wants to see something that like an idea that you have come, shape up, that's the private sector. If we're talking about kind of just getting exposure to more of, other companies, like newer companies and things like that, that's all on the private sector side. That's why I personally like it. I had to get out of the government because I would come up with ideas, but there would never be change. There would never be implementation. And I felt like every idea that I had was just falling on deaf ears. And for me, I'm all about being creative and being innovative and actually wanting to see my work implemented. And so me taking a step back from the federal space, moving into the private space, I've been able to do that. And there's so many rewards for that.
Are you passionate about tech, cybersecurity, social change? Join the Tech Woke movement on Patreon. Get exclusive access to discussions on emerging tech trends, cybersecurity insights, and valuable resources to help you get hired in tech, learn from others in the community, exchange ideas, and gain skills that will help set you apart, whether you're a developer, enthusiast, or looking to break into the industry. This is your space. Support the movement, stay ahead of the curve, and be a part of the change. Join us today on Patreon.com/TechWoke. I see you there. Yeah, because like you and me, I'm starting to notice little things. And again, I love the government space. I love it. Thank the guy for putting me in that position. But like, I just want to get with more technologies. Like, for example, like AI. By the time we get into AI, it's going to take 4 to 5 years.
I'm telling
maybe 10.
you. Well, look how long it's been taking for revision 5.
Yeah, there's like 2, 3. They been did it, but
President
it's like
Obama is gone. He is not in the White House anymore. Like, come on, why do we not have everybody transitioned over to revision 5 of NIST 853?
Yeah,
that's a prime example. The things in the government move too slow because the government's about stability. And again, stability is great, but when you have somebody like Elon Musk coming in, he's like, no, it's time for change, change, change.
Yeah, this ain't Twitter. This is not. I think he fired everybody from Twitter.
He did.
He literally fired.
He fired a lot of people from Twitter.
Tesla. He literally. I think I watched this one video where, and this man literally walking around looking at what people doing, literally like staring over their desk.
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
Like, he's a little strange, I will say. But he's the future. I mean, look at how much money that man makes.
Yeah, I mean, he's goes even with quantum. Like I saw something with Trump. He passed something recently with quantum computing, and you do know there's some things that you can hack a quantum. Like right now, you can. I think they have some encryption. Basically, it's a couple of vulnerabilities with quantum computer, but
I'm pretty sure it's brand new.
And it's beautiful.
It's great that we can hack it because we need to see what we can put in place to change that. That's why we have jobs all the time.
Yeah, and it's just like even with these chips, I'm finding out you can go into different universes. I'm pulling
that is crazy. I would love to be on that side too.
Did you ever watch Invincible?
Yeah.
Oh, you watch it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I want to. You ever want to think like what's another universe, Markeisha, if there is one?
Another universe?
If there was, like maybe a quiet one. You got Preppy Markeisha. You got.
I mean, the Tell the Truth Markeisha, that exists.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people see me in the light of being professional all the time. But, at the end of the day, like, of course, if I'm on LinkedIn, I'm professional. If I'm at a conference, I'm professional. If I'm at work, I'm professional. But in reality, like, at the end of the day, I'm human just like everybody else. I'm funny. Always here.
Hilarious.
I'm very random.
Hilarious.
I really speak my mind. That's one thing about me. So whether I'm in a professional setting or in a private setting, if I definitely feel some type of way and need to say what I need to say, I will. I won't ever hesitate to do that. But don't ever be surprised when you see me tweeting about something and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's Markeisha. Yes, like that is me. Those are my thoughts. And that's what I love so much about X is that you're able to just express yourself. Now, of course, that comes with people thinking they can voice their opinions about your opinion, right? Which does get annoying. But at the end of the day, you do have to respect people who can truly just be themselves and speak their mind.
Yeah, because even like being in the government space, being in like professional space, like they'd be like, oh yeah, you make jokes, like you do this, you do that. Because even like the hilarious, you are hilarious.
I'm hilarious.
Yeah, you are hilarious. You're funny. I didn't know you were so funny.
Yeah, I say random things.
Yeah, I'd be like, but that's a good thing. So just the human aspect, of course, like, government, all this stuff, like even layoffs, like, government layoffs, like, I'd be like, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I question, I got savings. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. A lot of people don't have that. Yeah. What do they say? Emergency funds are like less than $1,000.
Most people don't have $1,000.
That's sad.
You don't got $1,000?
That's sad.
And that's kind of, it's going off with our tech. And I think we talked about it on another podcast. I'm like, how we got all this money, but we're poor?
I think that people just live really above their means.
So no more clubs.
This is consuming. Yeah. This country consumes a lot, and so people really get caught up in that idea. I mean, I've gotten caught up in that before. I've had to get a reality check, but I don't think everybody has a reality check person in their life, right? So I know we always talk about make sure you have the right people in your life for those reasons, I'd say. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have a strong savings account, like that's terrible. Like if you don't have credit to your name, that's terrible. Like what are you going to do when things like this take place? And as you see, people are starting to move down south, or people are talking about moving to a different country. People go to Bali a lot now, or they go to Thailand, things of that sort, because they just can't afford it anymore. But I honestly, I actually tweeted about this before, and it was so controversial when I had said, if you've been working for 10 plus years and you've pretty much, you should have at least 100,000 saved up. Or I said $1 million. Because if you're making that much over the years, why don't you have that much saved up? What are you doing? So I got so much, pushback on that.
No, Markeisha, I agree with you 100%. I have people that live with their parents making over 100K and they don't even got 5,000.
They're not saving. They're just blowing it.
Yeah, just blowing it like on food or I'm gonna be rich one. And even being an entrepreneur, we both know it's a lot that goes into making a lot of money a month.
You do have to tap into those funds.
Yeah,
you have to tap into your personal funds. But at the end of the day, like for that scenario, if you're living with your parents and you're making $100,000 a year, there's no excuse why you don't have a strong savings account. There's so many ways to flip your money. I talk about this in my ebook about how to leverage your, in this example, tech money and how to actually become wealthy. But a lot of people, they just don't want to face that reality.
Yeah, because even talking to you and so many people in DC, I know people that are at least 4 or 5 people, even crypto, including yourself. Crypto. If you even investing in crypto, investing in your 401k, like going in heavy because like it's getting hard times. And like crypto, I mean, people are wary of it, but there's some real money in it. But if you buy it at the high and sell at the low, sell at the low and buy at the high, right?
No. You buy at the low.
Okay.
And then you sell, and then you can sell at the high. But the idea behind a really great investor is you have like people like whales, so people who have a lot of stake in the market. And so they will sell when it's high and then it will drop everything completely. But so it'll make people panic. We call them like the newbies, right? It'll make people panic. And then from that panic, they're going to sell. And then what do as a smart investor? You buy it all back up. So now it increases because as people are seeing you're buying, that number's going up and they're like, oh, shoot, I have to buy too. So it's all a mind game, but not everybody's aware of that.
Yeah, because even with stocks, like when I was younger, I bought Tesla stock when it was like $200, right? And I was like, this is going to go up. It's going to go up. The pandemic went almost like 2000 and I sold it before it. So you got to, just believe in yourself and ride it through. I mean, you ain't always going to make money.
Right. And you have to know your risk. I talk about this a lot. Like, what is your risk tolerance? Now, everybody has a high risk tolerance. Like for me, I have a very high risk tolerance because I have the money to play with. But let's say you don't have a lot of money. Maybe you have a low risk tolerance. So put into things like stocks, put into things that have been existing for a long time. S&P 500, like that's been around for a very long time. You're safe there, right? And when I say safe, let me use that term lightly because somebody's going to take this and try to twist it. Safe meaning it's been around, it's been consistent, right? But at the end of the day, you have to do your research. You can't always rely on other people to do the research for you. And you had mentioned about crypto and people are so weary of it. Why be so weary when the people with the most money in this country are investing in it? That makes no sense to me. Like, why wouldn't you follow behind people that make money?
Yeah, because even with crypto, even governments are investing in it,
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Like, let me tell you something, Markeisha, so people will know. I did a master's degree in cybersecurity at University of Baltimore at the Shady Grove campus. So my professor was trying to get us into crypto without getting us into crypto. So I wrote a whole paper on crypto and the benefits. And at the time, it was cheap. So what I should have just bought it. I would have been rich. And I knew about it. Even the guy that created crypto, we don't even know who created it.
Yeah.
It could have been Elon Musk. We don't know.
What about Bitcoin?
Yeah. Like even Bitcoin, what's that? There's so many types of coins, but Bitcoin is the other one. It's the main ones. I don't know.
Yep, XRP is a big one right now. Solana is a big one. So at the end of the day, if the rich are doing it, why wouldn't you follow behind the rich? It's not about creating something new, right? Take what people are doing and follow the blueprint. It's as simple as that.
Like even meme coins, like even the Trump meme coin, if you had got that and got out, you would have got some money.
That and got out, but most people got it and then stayed because they're not educated on this.
Yeah, so basically, like to invest. So just if you're getting laid off stuff, just make sure you're investing. Get into crypto. I would suggest everybody get into crypto. Even houses. I'm trying to get a house. I know we're both trying to get a house. But you just gotta lower your risk because like working in this space. You never know what can happen, especially with Trump and all this.
You're never going to get rich from a 9 to 5. That's the reality. You get wealthy because you are investing. You're using your 9 to 5 to be able to take that money and to invest in other things. That can include a new business for yourself. That can include, other types of investments like real estate investments, investing in gold. There's so many different things that you can do. You need to find out what works.
Like even entrepreneurship, we've both been going there. You've been going there longer than me, but you ain't gonna get rich in the beginning. Because even in the beginning, I wasn't making no money the first year. The second year, I'm starting to make some money. The third and fourth year is where you're really gonna, if you get to the 5th year, at that point you should have everything straight.
Yeah. Have you paid yourself? I think a lot of us don't even talk about that. Like if you've actually paid yourself yet. I pay myself by paying for my car. So that's how I pay myself.
Hey, you got a nice car too, so.
I do.
Nah, because even that conversation, like in the first year, wasn't making that much. This year, I'm still making enough to pay for like certain things, like podcasting, like certain like things. But eventually, once I start making the real money, of course, pay. But it's like even that, it's like how much do you even pay yourself? Like,
well, no, Chris, let's talk because is this your only business, your podcast?
No, so the podcast, and this is how I'm doing it. The podcast is kind of the media thing. So it's the media thing. It's with podcast, and I tell this all things. Podcast, you don't make that much money. So with podcast, you build your personal brand, which is what we're doing, what you're doing. After the podcast, so what I'm doing now is and I also build with LinkedIn to build a personal brand. So next, I'm working on this thing called RMF Academy. So what I'm gonna do is the podcast is gonna funnel to those people that want to learn RMF, GRC. So I'm just gonna have that. Then I'm gonna market to people that's in the government space. So working on that. Then I also have a school community, which I'm slowly growing, which is more a community to put stuff in. So it's just, I'm using the podcast to grow everything.
And that makes sense. Definitely leveraging the thing that's working the best into funneling into your other businesses. Yeah,
and then, and then as entrepreneurs, we're networking now. So,
You're working on a lot, though.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate giving you, because people don't, I'm always giving people their flowers, but nobody gives me their flowers.
Nobody gives you your flowers. We need to start giving Chris his flowers because he has been absolutely excellent. So what made you think about doing the academy? Yeah,
so like when I got into RMF, right? Like, it was even the government people, they don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. There was no set blueprint on how to train people. Even now, there's still not a set blueprint. People come in and don't know nothing. So it's mainly focused on government folks to teach them the process. Like, for example, how to test controls. I know it sounds simple to me and you, but it's not to them.
And to be honest, when we were starting off, it wasn't easy. So.
Like you go sit them in an ATO package and you get all this stuff.
God.
You know what I'm talking about?
1,000 controls in a high system.
Yeah, and then so it wasn't set. Even like FISMA, I didn't know what a moderate or a low or what classified. Like even learning FISMA, so even in creating a POC list, we don't even know who to talk to.
That's true, and they never know where to send you.
Yeah,
so you're kind of like running around trying to figure out who should be on that list.
Yeah, so I'm just creating that for the people that want. Because I have people even now they'll hit me up. Hey, Chris, can you tell me? I'm like, bro, listen. And that's why I do like coaching somewhat, but I just want to make a course, Markeisha, because I don't got time. I'm trying to be less. I got to film this. I got to do this. So I'm just making a course just for that.
I remember when you used to have time.
Yeah.
Now
I don't have
slowly you don't have time. That's the reality of an entrepreneur.
We talk, because I was like, because I would meet all these high level entrepreneurs and I'd be like, why are they always so busy? And I'd be like, y'all busy. Even you. I was like, even now I still do it the same. I'm like, hey, Markeisha, you free? Or hey, Markeisha, because I know you busy.
Right, we're busy, yeah.
But I know you respond though. But it's just like now I'm like, I feel bad because sometimes I miss a thing. And
now you get it. Like somebody may text you, you may not even respond to like 2 days later.
Yeah, and it hurt me, but it's just the life that you choose.
It's the reality at the end of the day. No, I think that that's really cool that you're creating an academy. Like what will make this different than other RMF or GRC courses that are out there?
Well, for RMF, it's going to be more hands-on. Okay. So like, for example, I'm making this thing called the POAM Blueprint or Deep Dive. So even with that, like, we're going to go into what is a POAM, why is it created? I'm actually going to do a tutorial on how to create a POAM. Like in the government space, even with risk management, nobody talks about risk accepting POAM. Because now it's either a long-term POAM or risk accepting. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about how to create a document POAM. Nobody talks about how to create a vulnerability. There's so many types of POAMs for different situations. And since I've been working in it so much, and again, I was thrown into the field, when I create this, it's going to be somebody that actually knows what you're going through, what the government folks going through. And if the government wants to buy the course or have me teach a class, it's going to help me get government contracts in the future.
Oh, for sure.
I can teach. You know?
I feel like the government really needs this for, especially like those junior level, like ISIs and ISOs coming in, assessors that may not really know too much. But yeah, I mean, I think that's great that you're thinking about that. It'll be a really great way to sell to the government.
Yeah, sell to the government, sell to people, just people that want to know, but like, you know, but still working out the core. Actually, even after this, I'm going to film it. I'm going to keep filming. I'm creating it. I created a curriculum, so it's
that is awesome. And people just want they want things that they can just buy quickly.
Yeah.
Like, and it's nice because you can either have live instruction for people, or you can have instruction where it's self-paced and you just pay less money and you download it.
Yeah. And what about you in entrepreneurship? Because I do have a lot of questions for you. Like, you know, I know you got your jobs, and you're no matter what, if you lose your jobs, you got something to prepare you. But like, tell me about your process.
Yeah, in terms of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been an entrepreneur since 2010. I had started off selling hair. That was something. Hair? Yeah, that's what I had. That's what I had done. I started off. I did that for a bit, all throughout college, actually, and then it wasn't until 2019, like around when the pandemic hit, that I decided to start my career services firm. And I've been doing that the last 5 years. But from there, I've kind of ventured into some other things too, like what falls under that is the Achieve It Pathways program. So that is a tech-based training program. So essentially, all students would come in and they will train for their certification for about 6 to 8 weeks. They would then sit for their exam. And then after passing their exam, they'll move into a role-based type of training, whether that's with GRC and privacy or help desk or Linux or anything of that sort. They'll do that for 3 months, get a lot of hands-on experience. That means working with the tools that you'll work with every single day, writing policies, writing code, working in groups, collaborating like you're actually in the company. And then they'll move into 2 months of career development. So of course I teach the career development portion. So they'll get resumes developed, they'll understand how to negotiate, how to talk about their salaries, how to network on LinkedIn, outside of LinkedIn, all of that great stuff. And then they'll move into what we call our mentorship program. So our mentorship program really allows them to have that community they need. We find that a lot of times with boot camps and courses that people really just kind of are thrown to the wolves, right? You finish this boot camp, good luck type of thing. That's not really helpful. People need that support, especially as they're applying for jobs. And so the focus is on to give them that support. So the program is 6 months of training and then the 6 months left of applying for jobs and having that community in that mentorship program. And then I also have another membership organization called Socialite Season. I'm partnered with Quintaria S. Brunson on that. But it's actually super, super cool because it's a co-op. A lot of people don't know about co-ops and what co-ops are. Co-ops actually give you the opportunity to own the company. And so everybody who comes into this membership will be owners of Socialite Season. And it's very a strategic way of networking. We'll be working with people who actually want to create business deals and close business deals. So we're moving with intention when it comes to networking, which is something we really don't see, especially in the DMV area.
Yeah, no, you're doing a lot there.
I am.
So I'm a newer entrepreneur too. So I've been trying to let's get into the networking portion because even for myself it's hard to network even with business or business, cyber or whatever. It's like so I've been going. So like my first year I started and I started going and I know you don't like to go to a lot. I went to all the mixers.
Mixers.
I went to all the mixers, all the conferences. I probably went to like 20 mixers. And I went to, so the thing I know about, like, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, as building a personal brand, I would go to these mixers and it's just party or dating.
And drinking.
Yeah, and drinking. Yeah, and then, too, when you try to date, for the women, you go try to date with y'all don't want to talk. So what's the point of y'all even being there?
Like, they're offended.
Are you offended?
Why are you talking to me?
So are networking, it's like, are mixers good for you, or how do you network?
I don't really go to mixers, but I have a mixer that I'm actually been asked to co-host. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because I definitely saw the structure of it being more strategic there. In addition to that, co-hosting with a lot of great organizations, women-based organizations, I couldn't give up that opportunity. So I think it's a mix between mixers and networking events, and then also like I like to do webinars, go to conferences. Again, very intentional. I'm not going to a conference, and I think we spoke about this before, but if the conference is just meant to be party, 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 I prefer not to be in that space. And if I'm offered like a speaking opportunity for something like that, I'm probably in and out, right? I'm not going to the actual party events.
Yeah. What mixer are you speaking at?
So I'll be speaking at the Women in Tech Mixer. That will be on March 27th at 6 p.m. at Fig Leaf, which is within a hotel. So that'll be awesome.
That's what's up. Yeah, because even with conferences, I've been to a lot of conferences too. I'm trying to more go to my diverse conference, but even with those, they party. I can say for a lot of the conferences I've been to, the issue I'm having is nobody wants to help each other. Like, meaning like they don't want to help with deals or anything. Everybody want to keep it, or people have certain cliques. So that's what I've been noticing more of the conferences for us. You know what I'm saying? But so I'm going to spread myself out a little bit so I can, meet other people.
Right. So what do you think the reason is behind companies doing conferences that have parties and concerts and keynote speakers being, celebrities? What do you think the reason behind that is?
And that's actually a very good question. So, like, as a person that stutters, I understand marketing. Mm-hmm. I understand people. Even with me, I build a business. I will say the ones that are going off of parties, they're going off of what that demographic likes. That's what they really want to do.
Right.
So if they really want to do it, they really want to have these. I think some conferences are actually having dating. Which is not bad.
Hear about that.
Which is not bad, but I mean, let's be real on this. A lot of men, and I wanted to talk to you about this, but we'll talk about it after I say the statement. But
okay.
I think they're just going off the demographic. I think after a while, then people get bored, but I think people just want to go have, and there's nothing wrong with, if you want to go to have fun, have fun. I don't got $500 to spend to have fun. If I can get free, I'll go, but I'm not.
So like from a business standpoint, they're doing it because that is what their demographic wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what kind of puts people in the Black community in a box. And I think we really need to try to work to get ourselves out of that. Because when you think about what other races are doing at their conferences, like that's not it. Like if anything, they're having what they call a happy hour and like a wrap up type of thing, right? It's on some rooftop. Again, they're being intentional. It's not a concert. It's not a club, right? They're there to network. And so I get it wanting to feed into the demographic, but there does need to come a time where somebody's standing up and saying, let's stop this. I think that's what I liked a lot about GovTechCon, because there were times for that.
Specific times.
Right, specific times. But the idea wasn't to push that. And I respect that.
Yeah, because even with GovTechCon, and I ain't gonna lie, if you notice, even with me, I talk about GovTechCon.
We always talk about it. We love what Simone did.
Yeah, she killed it. She set the standard, by the way. But when I went to GovTech, I learned, like they talking about, I didn't even know, let me tell you, Markeisha, I didn't even know what an AI agent was, and they've been around for a long time.
Oh, yes.
And this, one of the guys,
Kalante talked about it. Right,
killed.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kalante.
Yep.
I don't know him personally, but yeah, you killed it, brother.
He's really cool. He's like one of those like sly guys.
Yeah, he's smart
like when
dude.
you see him, but he's not like super talkative.
He ain't talking to you. He ain't talking to you. He'll look at you like, why are you talking to me?
Right. He's that type of person, but he's so dope.
Intelligent dude, man. Yeah. If I see you again, bro, you killing it. But yeah, like that. I like how you can learn. Like even when you talked about, personal finance.
Yeah, I talked about financial literacy, how you could leverage your tech money and to actually build generational wealth, which is something I don't think a lot of us think about or talk about.
Yeah, and the Google people they was talking about Gemini and all. It was so much going on, and it was like one of those because like you said, you speak and you leave. But there, I noticed that you was there the whole time.
I was there the whole
was 2
time.
days?
I even went to
The brunch.
to the club.
Oh, you was in the
and
club?
To the brunch.
You was in the club?
I was in the club.
Yeah.
Listen, I was partying in the club.
Yeah.
It was awesome because again, like I said, I'm very intentional, and so I'm really not trying to like be at the after parties, but there it was so worth it. The people were so genuine.
Yeah, it was. And again, for ladies that y'all trying to date, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sorry, I'm giving the guys up, but half of y'all married.
Who's married?
I'm saying like the guys that go to these conferences. A lot of them
married.
A lot of them be married. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
That is true. A lot of them are married, and they're professional. I mean,
because
married with children at that.
There's nothing wrong with, and that's what I'm saying. I know women. Y'all know women. Y'all looking for like a guy that got money, but they got money,
In
but
this area,
it's not a problem.
I feel
in
this
DMV.
area, the DMV for sure. I think women are on a mission, especially maybe tech women are on a mission to find another guy in tech that has wealth and is willing to pay for them, right? But like you mentioned, a lot of the people at these conferences are already married.
Yeah, they married. They already got secured a long time ago.
Don't go messing up a happy home.
Don't mess up the happy home, and guys, don't mess up your happy home. And ladies,
I'm telling you.
And ladies too.
I saw some people in the club messing up some homes.
They're taking them rings off. You know what I'm saying? Taking the rings off.
Listen, sometimes you didn't have to take the ring off anymore.
Yeah,
people would just go after you.
Yeah,
Women love men that are married for some random reason.
It's funny because women be like, "Oh yeah, I want a guy that I'm like, why
a guy
you
that's faithful. He doesn't cheat on me.
You want to share a guy?
But it's okay if he cheats on another woman with her.
Yeah, hey, as long as it's consensual. Hey, as long as y'all talking and have agreements. I mean, I don't mind that, but but networking is good if you can build up connections. Like we met, and how we connected is through other people. Sometimes you don't need the conversations.
Yeah, and I think connecting through other people is another way too. It's not about who you know. Well, it is about who you know. It's not about what you know at the end of the day. So yeah.
Because even with me, I told you this, like Hanray, I look up to him in the podcasting space. And he was like, "Oh, I got Hanray," and you just literally just
connected you, and then look what happened. Like you all had a talk, and then you implemented some of the things that he recommended.
Yeah, a lot of stuff he implemented. Yeah, and Hanray's a beast when it comes to social media. I ain't gonna hold you. He's a dog. Like that man.
He's getting sponsorships, running ads all the time. You're running ads too now, right?
Yeah, I learned that from him.
So how does that like really happen?
So like, what type of ads?
So like the ones that are ran during the podcast, like that we see on YouTube.
So it just depends. Like, so a lot of the ads I run for myself, when you run ads, especially for podcasts, you want to get it. Most people stop watching after 10 minutes. So you want to get the good ads.
They stop watching.
Like they
the
fall
video
off
completely.
Yeah, sometimes they fall off completely. You know what I'm saying? If it's good, they'll come back to it. But in the first 10 minutes, you want to put an ad in the first 10 minutes. But how ads work is the longer the video, you want to put one every like 20 minutes.
Okay.
So like that's why most podcasts, like Hanray, for example, he does 2 hours, probably 3 hours, probably like 5-6 ads in there.
Wow.
To make money, it's good to put ads for yourself. Or another method I learned, you can go get a referral code, and you can say, "Hey, this video was sponsored by what's the name." But really, you just get it's the same thing as your referral code. No matter what, they'll give you a referral code. So like say for like NordVPN, you can make a whole ad for NordVPN and put the referral code in the actual thing. But I don't do that too much in the beginning. I used to do that.
Right. So if people are falling off after 10 minutes of watching a video, what is the purpose of still creating an hour podcast long video?
So you use it to promote the actual audio. And then two, the longer you get it, and this is what a lot of people don't know, and this is what Hanray taught me, you clip it up. So you can go put the same ad, and if you notice a lot, like Club Shay Shay, you'll go look at his clip, he'll do a whole ad, and then he'll go into the small clip. So people just got to clip it up. The more longer you get, the more clips you have. Okay. And I got to get better with clips.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
There's some AI that does. I think Henry had told me about the AI. You told me about the AI.
You got video, you got open, but it's better to like go, and that's why I got to get better with the editing part. You can go on Descript, literally put the whole thing in, and you can clip out certain portions you want, and then just put it. But yeah, I would have an editor do that. That's too much money. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what you can do to make ads, you know. But And that's why I like, and it's good to bring you because when podcasts, like, you know, when you first came on, they learned so much about you, Market. You know, people been hitting me up for a long time about that one.
Yeah.
You said 16,000 views.
People are still finding it. How many views?
16,000.
16,000. Wow. Can we get, I'm trying to see if we can get these other ones to 20,000.
We going to get it.
We have a goal here.
Yeah, we going to go. We just want to bring the big player. You know what I'm saying? The big dog.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So Markeisha, you in Gen AI, right?
I do Gen AI, yeah.
Gen AI, okay. So, like, what's going on with AI? You think it's going to take our jobs?
That's a question that I'm always asked.
Can you explain what Gen AI is?
Sure, yeah. So Gen AI is generative artificial intelligence. And the focus around that is being able to, in a sense, train the AI models, the learning models, to be able to spit out things like images and text, as well as just feedback in general. So you have developers who are going in and plugging information in. The AI is learning everything that it possibly can, which makes it smarter. And so for people like me and you, when we go out and we actually start asking our AI questions, it's able to respond in a very intelligent way because the developers are developers and people who are doing the inputs, they're always adding to it. For me, I'm working security, so my whole take is to make sure that there's security around AI and the features of AI. So we want to make sure that you're not putting the wrong type of data in there, like confidential or PII. We want to make sure that to access it, you do have to log in correctly. We want to make sure that we know if you're uploading files, what those files are. Is it going to flag us? So that's what my responsibility is.
And do you think it's going to take our jobs?
You did ask that.
Yeah.
It's going to take some of our jobs. Absolutely. I don't think that there is a need to have a 6-person team when you could have 2 people, for example, ask the AI questions and the AI spits something out. We've actually tried this with auditing where we prompt the AI to pretty much be an auditor. And then we upload a document to it. So like, let's say the system security plan, and we say, hey, we're looking for these particular things, disaster recovery plan. We're looking to understand incident response, vulnerability management. We need to understand their take on risk. Do they have an ISO in place? And the AI will scan the entire document and then spit out an entire report that they have from auditing the entire document. You can also ask the AI to give you a full rundown of the company, who the company has done business with, the financials, if there's been breaches, and the AI will come back with that stuff. So think about it. You don't need 6 people in that team when you could just have 1 or 2 people that train this AI within your company or your LLM to do exactly what these auditors are already doing.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. Like, even when it comes to, of course, I have an editor and things like that. But even when it comes to podcasting, I put it into Cast Magic, for example. It gives me a transcript. It gives me a LinkedIn post. It gives me titles for the YouTube. All that separate jobs in its own. And also even when it comes to recruiting, it's taking a lot of people's jobs. If you look on LinkedIn, all the biggest people, they're losing their jobs.
They are.
Yeah, because
they are, and all the platforms now have AI capabilities. Like I use that now with the staffing clients that we have. The platforms do include the AI, but the AI is not trained correctly, so it's not picking up on things that it should pick up on. So you do still need that human component, but you have to think 2, 3, 4 years now, that AI is going to be top notch. It's going to be trained. You don't need those same people anymore.
You really don't. And again, you got to adapt. Like all the people that's in recruiting, they're starting to get into tech or cybersecurity now, or
as
entrepreneurs.
They should. And I think that it's really important that you go towards the newer thing, right? And so if AI is that newer thing, you need to be looking for jobs. If you're in HR and recruiting, look for jobs that are in AI. Go to an AI company and apply for those jobs. You don't need to be in these older spaces you used to be in. And that's just the reality. Like you said, you have to adapt. I don't think people are ready to adapt. And we always talk about these different generations, like, oh, these Gen Zs and these Gen As. Yeah, but at the end of the day, like the younger people are more adaptive than the older people. So you have to just suck it up and you have to do what you have to do to stay on top.
Yeah, because even when I like the Gen Zs, low key, because they know how to do things efficiently. They'll put up more research. I have a couple Gen Z friends, I'm not gonna lie to you, and they be giving me so much data, so much things that's going on. But one thing I am worried about with AI, I'm not worried too long until it's commercialized, quantum computers. So once it combines the two, man, that's scary.
It's game over.
It's game over for a lot of people.
And I think that's too why a lot of us get into entrepreneurship. Because we don't want to just rely on 9 to 5 to keep a job. We want to be in a position where if we have to fire we got to fire ourselves. Like, who else is going to fire us?
Yeah, and that's why, again, that's why I'm in on, because I see it coming. As smart people, we see things coming 5 years, 10 years.
You have to be on top of it.
And I'm like, let me hurry up and get in this, or at least, because to be honest with you, if you don't build your personal brand, if you don't get an entrepreneurship, they get rid of the Department of Education's gone.
My gosh, 50% of the IRS is gone.
Yeah.
They had laid off like 80,000 veterans. So it's a lot of changes being made. And unfortunately, for the people who weren't on top of it, now they're suffering.
Yeah. And that's why, even with cybersecurity, because I think eventually it's going to start taking some job, automation tools. Like, I've seen automation tool pull patches. That's what the system administrator does. But it's getting to the point.
Or you don't need a security engineer
You
anymore.
don't really need them. And they're getting, because even they asked me, they was like, so is AI taking my job? I said, I didn't really know what to say. I was just like, I don't know, bro.
When we're talking about GRC, and since we have been talking about some GRC, is it taking our jobs? I think that it will take some of our jobs. I don't think that it will take all of our jobs, just because and this goes back to the different disciplines or fundamentals or whatever under GRC, compliance is one of those where you could be able to keep your job because there's always new frameworks coming out.
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to be on more of the AI-ness framework.
Oh, for sure.
So to make sure
until
you have
the
a
other
job.
ones come up, PCI AI.
Until they come up, so that's the only way. And then two, it's probably going to be, I ain't going to lie, we're going to lose some jobs. So it's probably going to, instead of having 4 of us, probably 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because even this is AI software, I forgot the name of it, XSage. So they're taking over the government space, and I watched a video on him on YouTube, and he did the whole RMF stuff that we do, testing the controls, all that in 2 hours or less using his AI software.
See?
And I was like, okay. Well, I'm not telling my boss about this, because I showed my coworker. She said, Chris, don't do that.
Right, because you could lose your job.
So in a sense, it can take our jobs in cyber. It can take all of our jobs and automate. But if you know what you're doing, especially what you said, training the because I was watching this lady. I'm into entrepreneurship, so I'm getting into LinkedIn. I think we talked about that. So she created her own GPT to help her with LinkedIn posts, and she be killing it. Yeah.
See?
So it can help or hurt you, but you got to learn it.
You have to learn it, and you have to know. You have to do your research as well, because there's been some times where the AI spits back something that's wrong, like an incorrect date, and I'm like, homie, you know that it's not. You know that Monday is not March 24th. No, it is March 24th. They kept saying March 25th to me, and I'm like, get it together. Like, again.
And people forget that, because I study AI too. I know you're a researcher too. In the beginning, it's wrong. I think it was actually certain questions, and they would always give the wrong answer.
It would. And there could be stats. Like, if you're looking up, basketball stats, sports stats in general, it comes back completely wrong. But that's just because the sports industry doesn't have those people in there training those models yet.
You got to train, because even I ask, what's your sources? And they won't even give me no sources.
Sometimes it can't. And then if you pay for it, there's deep search.
Yeah.
So deep search can actually pull so many sources from the internet, but then are those sources correct?
Because I was talking to my boy about it. He's an entrepreneur. He's a very high-level entrepreneur. And he said something to me that actually made sense. AI can't do research for you. It can do research to an extent, but it's still necessary to hire paid researchers.
Yeah, to do exactly what you want.
Yeah.
It depends on the type of research that you want.
Yeah, like for example, baseball stats. You probably going to have to do a little bit more on that.
I told you it's wrong.
Yeah.
You've looked up stats before and it hasn't been correct. If you know your stuff, it's not correct.
But I think we're still good, only because, and I think we had this conversation probably at least 20 times at this point. You still have to cool it down, I think even the quantum computer now, they have it in space temperatures. Yeah, so it's either going to be in the ocean or in the space. So you got to figure that out.
Yeah, figure out what temperature is going to be right. And it sounds cool to be behind stuff like that.
Yeah, and then too, like even with the government space, like the government, they take like 20 to 100. They take 20. They take a long time, and then
A long time.
Even in the private sector, if you're not a Fortune 500 company, you can't even afford to even train it or have it in your business.
Who are you telling? These are questions or things that we have to start asking ourselves as entrepreneurs.
Yeah, so, to sum it up, AI can eventually take over a lot, but at the same time, we got some time. So if you got the time, make sure you build your personal brand, get into entrepreneurship, and that's what we talked about, get into crypto, get into real estate.
Lock in and go where the money is at.
Yeah.
I think people don't pay, this is another thing, people don't pay attention. That's how I know when clients come to me talking about, they want to get into the cloud. I'm like, you are far behind.
Yeah.
Like, we're on to something new now.
Yeah, and then too, they talk about getting to data. In my opinion, data is like software engineering. I don't know nothing about that, so I can't help you.
Like data analytics.
Yeah,
and stuff?
I can't help you with that. But you gotta go talk to somebody else. But you got to do your research. And
that's a good one. Somebody who knows data analytics. Yeah. Like we just hired a marketer who's really great with data.
Oh, for real?
With a finance background. I'm like, shoot, obviously you know more than me. I'm going to hire people who are smarter than me. That is one thing about me. You can't be the smartest person in your company.
No, I agree. And that's why I come to you about certain things. When it comes about coaching, finance and stuff, I talk to you. I ain't going to lie. I'll be like, even a podcast, I'll be like, let me get my free consultation right now. You know what I'm saying?
I will bill you later. It's like, nah.
I'm going to see that invoice from you deserve it. I'm like, right, dang, man. Or a podcast on Hanray. Hanray is a dog when it comes to, or like with marketing. Marketing is, I don't know marketing.
I don't know marketing myself, but I know that it is a game changer. That's exactly why I've implemented it. As I have mentioned, or I may have not mentioned to you, but I've never had to market,
You didn't.
And that's a blessing, right? My business has been able to thrive, but I want to take it to the next level, right? I want to make 7 figures in the business, and I have to market.
You will. And then even like I was listening to Alex Hormozy, that's what, if you read his book, $100 Million Leads, that book's a beast, but that's what he talks about. You got to market, or even sometimes give things out for free so it can market itself.
And that makes a lot of sense. That's what I do with my ebooks. Generally, I'll give that out for free. So people are just always thinking about, and people just want free stuff all the time. But I'll be honest, it's not appropriate to always expect free from entrepreneurs. The same, you go out, you buy money, you pay Apple, you pay Starbucks, you pay Nike. You have to respect people too who are doing entrepreneurship. And, you can vet people, absolutely, but don't expect for the freebies to always be there.
Yeah, because originally I used to do free consultations. Like, I didn't care. I did it for free. But it's like people don't answer. And that's on y'all. The people that didn't come on the calls and didn't do that. But now, Markeisha, I'm not going to lie. If I do a consultation, I just charge, just so I can know you respect the time. So you do charge
for your consultations.
Now
that's good. That's good.
I do. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I do now. So I'm like, okay, well, if you're talking to me, you're about your bit. Like, I have a client that, just paid to join. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to make sure I go the extra mile with them. Sometimes you even go a little bit just because they, but that's what I'm doing now. I don't do, because I was wondering, because like in the beginning, I was like, certain people do paid. I was like, why don't you just do the free to get them? But it's like, it's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time. I've done the free before, and yeah, it's given me an opportunity to meet more people and to advertise my business. But in the long run, I don't really think it's worth it.
Yeah, so it is what it is. And we're going to definitely in the future talk more about personal branding, more into entrepreneur, because I know in the tech space, we need to talk about that more.
Yeah, more entrepreneurship, what people are doing. Absolutely.
Thank you, Markeisha, for coming on the podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this was a little different, but I appreciate you. We mixing it up. Where can the audience find you?
A few different places. If you're looking for my career services firm, you can send us an email at hello@xire.io, or you could find us on the website at xire.io. If you're looking to enroll at the Achieve It Pathways program, you can find us at www.achieveitpathwaysprogram.com. And then if you're looking for Socialite Season to learn more about the membership opportunity, You can find us at socialiteseason.com.
I love that. And also, what do you want to leave the audience with?
I think for me, a lot of people who come to me, they get discouraged. And I always say, never take no for an answer. That's always been something that has driven me to get to where I am today. If one person says no, ask 50 more people. Somebody eventually will say yes.
I actually love that, because how I reach out to guests, trust me, I get a lot of people that ignore me to come on this podcast. I know you've seen it, but I tell you, I'm gonna ask you once every year, twice a year. I'm gonna ask you, even with you, like when you first came on, I was like, you got back to me like 5 times.
Listen, I thought that was a great opportunity. I definitely wanted to get to learn more about you and what you were doing, but there's power in follow-up. So always follow up at the end of the day. That's something we always talk about. Cold leads can turn into warm leads again.
Okay, now I love that. Make sure the audience, you listen to Markeisha. That's a good thing for you to say. Thank you everybody for watching the podcast. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. Also check out all the major podcast platforms. Make sure you download the podcast and also subscribe to the podcast on those channels. Make sure you check out the school community. The school community is for people that's in the GRC, RMF profession that are trying to get into cybersecurity and just want tips and jobs and consulting and things like that. Also, too, if you want to get some of the merch, Tech Woke Clothing, check it out. It's going to techwokepodcast.com. Check out the clothing. And remember, everybody, get 1% better every day. Peace out. I'll see you on the next one.